Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Platinum songwriter, platinum artist. You know, like I said before, here we are, Straight Game TV. I'm going to get right into it. Hit the bell notification. The thumbs up is always appreciated. Subscribe to the channel, and we're going to do it like this. This question today comes in from a brother from Phoenix, Arizona. And the question is, how come nobody in 2pac's family tried to help him with his business and carrying out the things that he needed to carry out in regards to being on death row and so on and so forth. And the first thing I'm going to say about that's a great question, but I don't think 2pac, from what I understood, 2pac wanted his family and his business like that. You know what I mean? And I got some powerful information today that is going to show you what I'm talking about in regards to that. You got to first understand that 2pac was taking care of his whole family, basically. And so first and foremost, I don't think anybody in his immediate family was equipped with the knowledge that it took, should I say, to be able to come in and help guide his career. He had one individual, like I said, the brother Watani, to him, but the brother who was his manager, I think was proficient enough to be able to do that. But like as far as his immediate family, I don't think anybody really had the knowledge. Second of all, once again, 2pac was taking care of everybody. So I don't think anybody would want to rock the boat or make 2pac upset in thinking that they knew more about his business than he did. And so, you know, it's the old go along to get along. You know, I don't think that they were afraid of anything like that. But like I said, they were receiving a check and they felt like, you know, 2pac knew what he was doing enough. Whether they felt like they wanted to give some input or not, I think a lot of times they refrain from doing that because, like I said, you know, everybody's eating, everybody's happy, you know, at that particular time when things were going right. But I'll give it to you like this. And when you understand it from this perspective, you'll get it. You know, so this is in February of 1996. And it says in February, 2pac had decided to start his own production company called Euthanasia. And he asked his old friend Yasmin Fula to come to LA to run it. Fula began trying to organize 2pac's business affairs. We weren't getting copies of the financial accounting, she said. We'd ask for them, and they'd send a present like a car. I felt like there was this dark cloud over us. I knew so much was wrong, but Pac would say, Yaz, you can't keep telling me things. I know what I'm doing. Fula felt that Afeni, from whom she was becoming estranged, had been influenced by Suge Knight's attentions and loggies. 2pac's signing to death row had transformed the lives of his extended family even more than his contract with Interscope had. They had lived the lives of scarcity, worrying about their next meal, worrying about how to pay rent, Fula says. But now they stayed at the elegant Westwood Marquis Hotel for several months, racking up an astronomical bill. Pac felt he was cursed with this dysfunctional family, Fula says, although he loved them. And as his success grew, especially in the last year, this presence grew. They were always there. So, you know, hopefully you would understand, like I said, you know, Yasmin, who is someone 2pac actually trusted. She was like a second mother to 2pac. 2pac used to stay with her. They lived in New Jersey. And like I said, once again, I think she was if I'm not mistaken, she was a law clerk, knew a little bit about law and business and things of that nation. I think that's why 2pac trusted her. You know, she wasn't immediate family, but she was somebody that 2pac trusted, to handle his business once he was starting euthanasia. So you can understand, like I said, what she basically said in regards to, Tupac being with Death Row, how, Afeni had, become influenced by Suge, just having money now, staying at the Westwood Marquis Hotel in Westwood out here in California, and so on and so forth. And like I said, the real reason and the real way Tupac felt, basically, like, he was cursed with a dysfunctional family. Fula says, although he loved them, like she said, as his success grew, especially in the last year, this presence grew. They were always there. And so you can understand why nobody would actually try to step in and do anything, because everybody was eating and they were comfortable. And Tupac was working, and he was basically the cash cow of the family. You know what I mean? But like I said, Afeni, I don't think she was blind to this, and she understood how it worked. Basically, she had, said some things. Afeni Shakur says that Death Row in the beginning treated us much better than Interscope had, but she suggests that she was not oblivious to the dark side of Suge Knight and Death Row. She told me that Tupac had not allowed either Big Syke or Tupac's young cousins, the Outlawz, who traveled with him and whom he supported, and one of whom, Yafafulu, Yasmin's son, was shot and killed 2 months after Tupac's murder, to sign with Death Row because he didn't want any of them to live in bondage. I'm going to say that again. Tupac didn't want Big Syke or the Outlawz to sign with Death Row because he said he didn't want them to live in bondage. She also told me that when Tupac encouraged her to go out socially with Suge Knight's mother, she believed that he was doing that in order to protect her. Suge's mother was very nice, Afeni said, but I never gave her my phone number. We both understood it was the rules of war. Wow. Now, I don't know what war they're talking about or she was referring to in regards to that, but, from whatever frame of mind, there seemed like to be a lot of distrust there. And so, like I said, this is Yasmin's, talking about what the conversation basically that her and Afeni had, like I said, in her understanding what she was up against and facing, and the distrust, or the dark side rather, that Suge Knight had in regards to Death Row and dealing with her son. But like I said, Tupac didn't tell them about all of his business. And the reason why I say that, or his mother about all of his business, and the reason that I say that is because when Tupac died, if she knew what she was supposed to know, she wouldn't have sued Death Row. And so with that information, you can basically see what was going on, and the craziest part also, when you really truly honestly think about it, as you heard what Yasmin had said that, Afeni told her in regards to that, you got to understand that, we know at now, like I said, I exposed to the world in the information in regards to bail agreement and so on and so forth, and how Tupac really wasn't signed to Death Row. And so you got to understand that, and his mother thinking that somehow that, Death Row in the beginning had treated her or the family better than Interscope had, when it was really, truly, honestly, Interscope who was fitting the bill. So it was looking one way to her and what she thought on the outside, but truly, honestly, that it looked like Death Row was handling everything. But truly, honestly, when you went back into the back offices and things of that nature, it was Interscope that was handling everything. So, like I said, from the brother from Phoenix, Arizona, you can understand basically why the situation was what it was in regards to dealing with his family, and why Tupac basically tried to handle his business and do what he needed to do, because he understood what it took and the sacrifices that he needed to make in order to make things happen. Unfortunately, Tupac, was murdered in Vegas. And I believe that if that didn't happen, he would have worked his way out of this situation in regards to the last 3 albums that he had owed Interscope. I believe that he would have went on to do all of the things that he needed to do. Like I told y'all before, that there was an $80 million a multi media deal in dealing with Warner Brothers that was on the table, waiting for him to accomplish and finish his obligations that he had owed to Interscope, those last 3 albums. And I believe Tupac would have went on to do bigger things. I don't know exactly what he would have done, but I think that he would have went on to do bigger things and you know, movies, films, groups, books, and things of that nature, and trying to be a positive influence to the rest of the world, like his music has been, and his memory and legacy has been thus far. So that's the reason why, you know what I mean? Like I said, everybody was eating, you know what I mean? Nobody really knew. And like I said, you know, Tupac really trusted Yasmin Fuller. And like I said, you know, she was one of the people who was there, you know, during those final days, really trying to help him, you know, navigate through what Tupac had become to understand a problem, and which he told her, you can understand now, so I want to relieve all doubt here. You can understand. Tupac told Yasmin, and I'm going to quote, you got to understand, after everything that I showed you guys, the bail agreement, all of the information, Tupac signing, the power of attorney, all of that. And Tupac said, basically when she said, they wouldn't send us the copies of the financial statement, she said. And when she would ask for them, and they'd send like a car or something like that, and she felt like, there was a dark cloud over them, she said, I knew, so much was wrong. But Pac said to her, and she's saying, this is somebody who's close to him. Tupac said to Yas, you can't keep telling me things. I know what I'm doing. That's what Tupac told her. You can't keep telling me things. I know what I'm doing. So let's be clear. Tupac knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly all of the things that he had signed and what he had gotten himself into. And so basically he was trying to navigate that situation, and he needed her help to do that, and starting euthanasia and trying to wiggle his way out of underneath of the situation that he thought was going to be the death row situation from that perspective. Based on the deal memo that he signed, he thought that they were going to present a contract and sign him to death row. When he found out that that wasn't true, you know what I mean? He knew all of the other stuff he had signed, and he knew what he needed to do from there. So like I said, that's the reason why Tupac, his immediate family, nobody really stepped up, Your boy DELRAY, Straight Game TV.